Okay, so I wanted to start off by streaming my overview process that I've been using. Here, let me make a copy of this chart and I'll make it just YouTube Live. But let's see. Okay, I wanted to, well, I might as well start it over. Let's see. Okay, so for today, I wanted to go over Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Now that I think about it, this channel is going to be more of my journey, and the audience, I think, should be myself, just to kind of try and see like if what I'm saying makes sense, and if anybody wants to join along, more than welcome. Can't promise that it's gonna make too much sense at first, and we're gonna go through a bunch of struggles probably, but we'll see. So for Bitcoin, we started with Bitcoin. We go to the daily chart. You can see I have a few indicators. These are the rolling points of control for monthly, 3 months, and 6 months. I've explained it before, both here and on TikTok, just the color scheme that I chose. So this color is 6 months, this is 3 months, this is 1 month. And for the types of indicators, you could choose a look back, which will look over the past 6 months. In this case, I have look back for the 3 months, which I might actually disable, just because the end of June will be the end of this 3 month indicator, or 3 month TPO profile, I should say. And for the monthly, we'll leave it at monthly for now, and we'll leave the weekly off for now. But if we see here, we'll make a composite profile of just this consolidation section, like this section here. If we make this a line chart, it's easier to see like where the areas of support resistance are, or more or less like the areas where Bitcoin spent the most time in. This is based on market profile. With these indicators, you can base them off volume as well. It should be a one, yeah. So you can base it off volume. I typically use market profile in this case, or for my style. So we start off, let's turn on the favorites chart. So here you see you have an area of resistance, or like a peak in this mountain section, I've been calling them, to people that are newer to trading. Let's see. So we see this is an area like the peak of a mountain, so we'll call this a zone, and it's from October, early October of 24 to now. So make this text will be October 24 to June 2025, and I'll lock it. And I don't have the text showing, or do I? Yeah, I do. I see it. Let's move this a little bit, because for me, well, it's not since October, it's really since November, but let me update that. settings, text. We'll just make the text like super faded, so it's technically not even seen. But just so that we have a point of reference, so when we double click it later, we're like, what is this area? Oh, this is from November 24 to June 25. Okay, so we have that marked out, and then we have this section here as well. Let's move this composite a little bit back. So we see here we have a bigger section. So again, because this is covering like several months, I'm using the color that I use for my 6 months TPO profile here. So we'll mark like the section here. More or less like, and you can see if you want to be like capture just the tip of it, you can go there, which I might do both. Let's see. I might mark so if I turn off these indicators for now, it's around like this section here. You see the point of control is at the bottom there. So I think that's what I'm gonna mark for a support resistance area. And again, this will be, I'll say around November 2024 to June 2025. Okay, so we'll lock it and save it. So here's the other area of support resistance. We do see you kind of have this area down here as well, which you can mark. I think I'm gonna mark it just to make sure I got like the big sections. So that's like covering like this section here. I'm gonna extend it up a little bit, and I might give it like a white border or something to like, oh, that's not the border. That'll be like the bigger area, and I'll just call it like text bigger area around POC from November 2024 to June 2025. So we have that section marked off there. We'll lock it, save it. And then the next section down, I don't think we will see. If we maintain the bull trend, going down here is kind of rough. But we'll mark it anyway, just so that we have it on our charts. So we have this section probably like here, more or less. My voice. And we'll disable the border on this one. Again, same thing, POC, not POC, but we'll just give it a time frame. And this is way lower than where we're at. It'll be a huge move to the downside. I don't know that we'll even see like a wick, but we'll see how plays out the rest of the year. So this is the like long-term area of support resistance that I like to mark. And then this is all done using this composite indicator. So then if we go back to the candlestick charts, whoops, where did I go? Here we go. If we go back and disable this for now, or we're gonna use it later, so I'll leave it like there. Hide it. But if we turn on the 6 months, 3 months, and monthly points of control, you can see point of control is where price likes to live, and it's relative. So like the blue one is a monthly, orange is 3 months. Let me actually make the 6-month point of control a little bit thicker. Okay, so we have the points of control here. If we turn on the candlesticks, you can see it's used generally as a good support resistance area. So here we had on February 3rd, price tested so this flat line, blue line here, is where price spent the most time in from January 1st to January 2025. So with the first time that we test it, we had a rejection above it. We had a rejection, which was good, and then we still like went higher. And the first test is obviously going to be the better one. But that's just one example of the way I use points of control. So if we keep going forward, or keep looking forward, you can see that here in this section here was the 6-month developing point of control. So from January 1st to April 10th, this is the point where the price where Bitcoin spent the most time in. So once we started accepting, so once this shifted down to like 84, we had price start accept above it. And if I haven't tested this like recently, I might have done some analysis at the time, but yeah, here we see we have the point of control of this section as well, be like, so I'm extending this line so it's like here as well. So once price started to accept above it, let's see, we might have to go down to the lower time frames for this, and it might take a little bit longer for the indicators to reload. Let's see, there we go. So once price started to accept above here, and like from like April 11th to here, you can see you had the point of control be above the monthly, I believe. Yeah. So as long as, so price accepts above a point of control, that I interpret that as bullish. If it's below, I interpret that as bearish. So we see here price accepted above it, and then if you're looking for maybe like a pattern, sometimes you'll get a pattern. Ideally, the more confidence you have, the better. But here you can see we were retesting the monthly developing point of control. It reacted bullishly above as soon as price went around that area. So these were all good signs to get in. And then you saw a move up to this other zone, which I think was based, let's see, which I based it off of this whole composite area, like this rectangle here. But if we go back here a little bit, you can see that we had all the drawings. Price rejected around this section here, and we did breach that section after we started accepting above the 6-month developing point of control. So anyways, looking forward for Bitcoin, I'm spending too much time on Bitcoin, but here you see we are above this section here, which is like 103 to 104, like 105. So as long as we can maintain above it, I do like a move up. It does look, or it does feel overextended, and pattern wise we are like retesting these lower levels. So it's kind of like a this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we retested the level. So for me, I don't think I'm positioned for any, like, I'm positioned in spot. I don't have any leverage positions right now, but an area where I would like to get in would be like this section here, from like 95 to 97. You might see something similar to this, where you see a move to the downside, break that level. So you see a move to the downside, move to the downside, you break this level, and then you see start price accept above it. So for me, I'm going to set an alert at this section, and then maybe like at this section here. And I do have some alerts set there already. You see here we have the May, so it's from May 1 to May 12 is that point of control section here. So that's also like a good spot to like see how price reacts at the very least. And right now we are still above. We're testing the 6-month developing point of control. We'll see how price reacts, but that should be a good sign. But in context, like if we zoom out, we had a huge move up since like early April to now, of like peaked at like 50%, and I think usually we have like 20 to 30, anywhere from 10 to 25% moves down. But if we go from the peak to like this section here, it's like a 13% move down, which isn't uncommon in crypto. So that's where I may be looking to get in. And you see here in the past 3 months, Bitcoin spent more time like down here than up here. So you might see price test this lower level first, and then maybe build this section a little bit out like this, if we do get here. For me, on a move to see a move higher, I would want to see kind of like what we're seeing now, price stay above this section here. We did go below, but quickly went back up. So I wouldn't want to see any huge moves below 103,500, more or less. Yeah, and that's my analysis for Bitcoin. If we switch over to Ethereum, let's remove all the drawings. So if we go back to the daily, you can see it has range for the most part. Like we're kind of stuck in this giant range, kind of like from like this section, if I can draw this section to this section here, kind of like in the middle. But I believe I do have some calls. Maybe I believe I am leveraged in. I have some leverage with some calls, just because of where, like we broke this section here, and although looking back on it, you see price went back down. It is still, in my opinion, I would have taken that trade again, because it did look like a breakout move. And I do have order flow charts that I am starting to get more comfortable with, but this is what I've used for the past several years. Okay, so if we go, so right now we're in the daily chart, I believe, yes. So on the daily, if we do a composite point or a composite profile of this whole section here, we turn off these indicators. You can see the price has spent the most time like at 1832. So if we are looking to draw areas of support resistance, this is probably a solid one. This one here. So you have this one here, and again, it's all discretionary, but more or less like this section is what I'm looking, is the section I'm looking at. So if we extend it to the right, that'll be like I'll do like yeah, I'll say new year. So January 2021. Oh. So January of 2021 to June of 2025. So lock that, save it. That's one area. The next area down would be this section down here. So if I mark out this section here, more or less about that zone. It's a little bit more liberal. If you want to be more conservative about it, you can do that section. I'll do that section, I guess, for now, but we'll extend it out. Again, this will be June 2025. Lock it, save it. And then I don't know if we'll see this level back down here. We probably will. I mean, it is the point of control area of this section. So if we make the chart, a line chart, just for better visibility right now, we'll mark out this section. It's a very small section here, which I might just copy these coordinates. Negative 1383 to 333. Negative 1383. Thing. January. June. Again, we'll save it. And we might as well mark down this level while we're down here. So mark out this level. Let's see. Around there, more or less. Coordinates were up to like 333, I believe. And tax will be 25. We'll lock it. We'll reset the view, save it. And so that'll be the higher time frame areas. So if we make this smaller for now, okay. So right now this is a composite. Let's go back to the rolling points of control. I know the reason I don't have the year one is the year one took a while to print and it had issues at times. There was an update to the indicator, so I haven't tried it yet. I may try it after this stream, but if we turn on the, we'll see. If we turn on these candles, you can see that similar to Bitcoin or in the past, we have this this 6 month developing point of control at around 3,200 more or less. Then it shifted down here to this 1,800 area, and we had barely like couple days, like 4 days there until we reversed and went back higher, and now we are still above that 6 months developing point of control, or we were, and we are kind of breaking below this level, so that is a little risky for my position, but I still do like a move higher to this area. I don't know if we'll get it necessarily, because if Bitcoin does go down, ETH is probably go down as well. So let's see, daily, if we zoom into like the 4 hour, we can turn on the weekly TPO profile as well, and you can see for this week we kind of spend most of the time in this bottom, like in this B-shaped profile. we spent more time below. And we were spending time higher. It just shifted down. It looks like it shifted lower today, Saturday. So we'll see how price reacts. Ideally, to see it move higher, I would want to see maybe a wick lower. We do gonna have that wick. So I would like to see maybe price build up around here. And you can see as long as we stay above this blue line, which is the monthly developing point of control, that accounts for like 2 weeks. So maybe something like this, price chopping around here. And then once you see price go here, jump here above this weekly developing point of control, then a move to the target like this section here is, for me, not a bad idea. Again, not financial advice. But yeah, right now we'll wait and see what Bitcoin does. I do most of my trading on the New York session just because I do have calls on traditional like brokerages, or brokers, I guess I should say. So yeah, for me, I'm going to set an alert. Probably, I don't know if I'll have time to scalp today or try to take a trade, but I'll make an alert of this level here, which is above like this section. So above this section here. And then if we do see price lower, the area where I would be interested in would be, I don't know if we'll go all the way down here, but we might build out a profile. So the profile might build out to kind of like fill out more of this space a little bit for the 3 months. We don't have that much time left. Also, we have like 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna set an alarm or an alert at this section here. And if my my next alert up is around the weekly TPO profile. But for next week, I'm probably gonna want to set an alert around here. And yeah, we'll see how that plays out next week. I do have an alert here, which, yeah, looks like I based it off of this section here. So we'll see if price gets up to that level. So that's what I have for ETH. I'm gonna kind of rush through Sol. I do have somewhere to be in a little while. But we go to the daily, move our drawings, move the weekly. So if we do our composite of this whole entire section here, this includes like, this is going back to 2021. But price is around the point of control of that level, so I'll make that as like July of 2021. So we'll draw out a little section here. Probably like this area here. Coordinates, I think it should look the same. Text will be that, and then we'll mark this level higher up here, this little zone. So you can mark out like this zone here, which is a little bit of very like conservative section. I like to mark it out a little bit bigger sometimes. And it's all discretionary, it's all based on what makes sense to you. So we have that section mark. Let's extend this to moves below price right now is at that section. If we do see a move to the downside, I'm gonna mark probably like this section here. And again, that's from like, yeah, I'll leave it as like June, or I think I said July. To June of 2025. We'll lock it, save it. Okay. Let's move this up a little bit. So on the, we can look at that composite later if we have time. I do have to start getting ready to head out shortly. But we have this section here. It is still like, so from 23, November 23 to now, June 25, you still kind of respect the same section. Like this area, this point of control area is still like around the same. Accounting for this, not accounting for this part of the, like this price action here. So we'll close that for now. If we go back to like the rolling or developing points of control for this year, point of control is down here. It looks like it might have like went back up and down. So here, and then it was here, and then it went back down here. So I don't hate a move either to this section here, to like targeting this, or a move targeting back up here. So we'll see how price plays out. For me, that is where I'm going to set an alert, yeah, around this section. And then for a move higher, I do have alerts set there already. But yeah, you see price kind of like went above these two, went chopped around these sections, went higher, rejected, went down to this section here, and this was a very nice like retest of this area. So this looks like it's a bullish, well, it clearly is bullish. You can see here we have more confluence on the 6 months developing point of control from January 1st to May. Well, this is 6 months rolling. Yeah, so January 1st of 24 to May 8th of 24. We finally retested it on April of 25. So I do like to test this section. I would like to see this section tested, and then maybe price react bullishly from there. We turn on the 3 month and 6 months, or 3 months and monthly. You don't see a whole lot like different. You can see this section here is a flat line. Kind of tested it like not to the tick, but pretty close. So this section here and like this wick here, we rejected. So yeah, we have alerts to the downside where I would maybe be interested, or at least in seeing how price reacts, and then I'll move to the upside as well. And if we zoom in a little bit more to the 4 hour, we'll have to wait for the indicators to rebuild, but we can turn on the weekly now as well. And you can see we're like around this section here. So as long as price can chop around here, and then I might check out the order flow charts later to see if you can find to see if I can find like a shift in momentum or a shift in delta to see a move higher. Like I said earlier, I'm not new, but I'm still like getting used to the like order flow charts and integrating them in my trading. So yeah, we shall see how price plays out this week with the weekly. We do have kind of like this 3 zone like profile for like the bottom zone here. So I don't want to see any more like price action below here, because then we might nuke pretty much. But not nuke, but at least hit this, probably this monthly line, which that looks, yeah, not a naked monthly point of control, but just like a developing. So from April 1 to April 29, this is where price spent the most time in, like 129. So maybe we'll see a wick there. If we do see prices lower, I'm gonna set another a little bit above it, just in case. So yeah, we have alerts set up, areas where we're interested in, or where I'm interested in, I should say, because again, this is not financial advice. And yeah, we'll see how price plays out. So that is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And I hope you all